All right. Let's see if every... Oh, man, destroying my helm. What is this? Headphones. Oh, my gosh. My headphones are now all stuck in the wheels of my chair. Okay, here we go. I just wanted to put on some headphones, man. That's all I wanted. Why does everything have to be hard? Whew. Hey, Phase Apex. So we're not gonna, be ready for a few more minutes. Let me make sure that I got this right. Yep, I did. Cool. So today we're going to be showing some new features that are not in the game yet, but are going to be coming in a future update. So, everybody saw that little flash of new features? What? Yep, not going to tell you what they are yet. We're going to wait till the show, but I think it's going to be fun. So we're playing a dev build again, which means we're playing on the crappy computer that I stole from QA. And so there's a decent chance it'll crap out on us again like it did last week. But that's fine. We only have a few things to show you anyway. So, mostly this will be a chill stream. And, yeah, we'll, if it dies on us, it dies on us and whatever. Soviet Manhunters, sorry, we don't have any Russian weapons in the World War II set. It's just the American World War II guns. But we've heard a lot of requests for guns that are not on the list, especially Russian guns, a couple of German guns, mostly Russian guns. People are into the Russian guns. So, these guys are not done making guns. So sometime in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if you got something like that. For right now, it's no Soviet weapons. It's just U.S. weapons. Just because they could only do a handful, and so they decided to pick a theme, and that's the theme they chose. I should check and make sure. I know you guys can hear me because you're answering me, but let me test my sound real quick. Make sure that I can hear me as much as I want to. I should check and make sure. I know you guys can hear me because you're answering me, but let me test my sound real quick. Okay, sounds like you can hear me. So we only have 2 microphones in here, and I usually point them at the guests because I have a very loud voice. I talk louder than Brant does, and I definitely talk louder than Matthew Bozarth does. He's our guest today. So I pointed the mics at them, and so that's why my voice sounds a little bit distant and echoey, but hopefully I'm loud enough that you can hear me anyway, and it's not a big deal. But let me know if you guys pick up any audio problems. Soviet Manhunter suggests a classic wooden AK-47. I think we've got a couple of different versions of the AK in there. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys wanted to do more. DJ Zero Sum, yeah, an overhead boom mic would be great. We need a lot of stuff. So at some point in the future, we might get our own streaming studio. It's not going to be very soon. I think it might be, I don't know, if we're lucky, maybe a year from now. But if we do get it, we've got a lot of requests. One of them is, an audio setup that's more professional. It's not just a bunch of mics on stands. I got to say, I appreciate the audio guys giving me their mics on stands so that I could use them for this. It actually is an unusually good setup considering, but it still clubs together. And so, I'd love to have a better setup. I'd love to have better, the background here is just basically our media room. I'd love to put more care into the set and maybe set it up so that, we can get more people on stream at once. Right now, we've just got these 2 chairs over here. You can't even see my hand. There it is. We've got these 2 chairs over here. And that's kind of it. We can't really fit a lot more people on the stream. You saw us last week. We tried to get 5 people or 6. There's 5 people on the stream, and it was ridiculous. We couldn't see everybody. Yeah, so Memento Mori is right that a lot of the features are quality of life stuff. It's not like, new mode or anything like that. Nothing on that scale. It's all pretty reasonable stuff. But I think you guys will still like it. Some of them are things you guys have been asking for. So, but won't tell you what it is yet. New Evolution. We actually have. There's one thing that might actually be making a part of the game easier. So, we'll see what you think of it. Harvey, how would you know if you had a new backpack? All the backpacks have identical names. That's actually a problem that I've noticed that I've got it on my sort of back of my list. At some point, I want to make it easier to tell one backpack from another because it's kind of ridiculous in the inventory screen. Mickey R, we don't have a release date for the update that we're talking about. We also don't have a release date for the thing everybody's been asking about, which is Trumbull Valley. So I can definitely tell you this update is going to be soon. I just can't tell you exactly how soon. You know, it's being QA'd right now, and we can't really know exactly when we're going to release it until we know it's solid. So, Hardman, yes, Microsoft does own our company now, though they do give us a lot of freedom to set our own creative and business direction. Like the stuff that you see us doing here, it's all stuff that we've decided that we want to do. Microsoft isn't handing down a bunch of heavy-handed, marching orders to us. Swarslicious says, awesome headphones. I actually don't need these anymore because I'm done testing the audio, so I guess I'll just take these off because it actually makes it harder for me to talk to the people who are in the room. Not that there are any people in the room yet. I didn't actually tell them to show up for another 15 minutes, so we're just going to be sitting here chatting for a little bit. I guess I could move over and play the game a little bit. That'd probably be more interesting to watch than me just sitting here. Imaginary Ace said they had a dream where all of our backpacks actually showed the color and pattern on the icon. That's pretty funny. I like that. All right. Awesome Twits dude asked if there would be jumps in Trumbull Valley. Well, there were jumps in the original Trumbull Valley. I haven't actually looked around to see. I mean, anything can be a jump if you drive at it hard enough. Montprance has shown that. So, I guess I can answer that with a confident yes. There'll be something you can ramp a car off of in Trumbull Valley. I just can't tell you what. Mr. Potato wants to know when beards are in the game. You know what? That's one that I haven't, because they've been out of the game for so long, I haven't actually taken a note about that one. Let me make a note for that. I can't make any promises, but we haven't actually re-explored the question of beards in a while, and that might be something we're looking into. Beards, question mark? Note to self. Oh, let me see here. I want to tweet that I'm doing this right now. So we're going to show some upcoming features for I'll say features and tweaks for State of Decay. For State of Decay 2. Features and tweets for State of Decay 2 on the stream today at 2 o'clock Pacific. Come join us. Twitch.tv/UndeadLabs. There we go. Okay, I have sent a tweet. You can follow me at Rangatang if you want to, or you can also not. That's also cool if you want to not do that. I looked away from you guys. What are you saying? I got to be doing something more interesting than talking to you if I'm going to be so bad at talking to you. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to sit here now. I can't see myself anymore, so tell me if I'm doing something ridiculous. What's up, Riffraff? Riffraff X? I wasn't just calling you all Riffraff. Actually, saying what's up, Riffraff does actually make me think, should I have some kind of like greeting that I say? Like, I always say, hi, welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Jeffrey Card. I always say that. It's kind of vanilla. Is there some like tagline I should have or something? What do you guys think? Hardman Burwell really wants me to answer if it's possible to work on new IP. Right now, we're really focused on State of Decay. If there's ever a time in the future when people are no longer interested in State of Decay, I imagine we'll have to work on new IP. But for right now, that our focus really is on this game that you guys are playing. Full Fury says I should swap seats. Oh, no, he just says that I did swap seats. Welcome to Undead Play Along, says Jay Dean. And Cerebral Ami says, wants me to say Konnichiwa, amigos. I think I can't pull that off. Oh, Awesome Twitchy says most pros play inverted. Please tell Brant that. Brant treats me like I'm some kind of monster. Oh, Harvey wants us to be able to call in a red talon Pilato. Actually, what do I have here? Got some holiday content. Is that it? That's all I got? Oh, yeah, of course, because this is the dev build. I was about to say, I thought my account had a bunch of stuff unlocked, but I realized this is not my account. We're playing on the dev build. Forgotten Knight says I should say, welcome to the apocalypse, survivors. Han Solo Dolo, I have not played World War Z, mostly just because I don't play a lot of co-op games. And that's mostly because I'm not good at them. No, it's because I don't have a life. I don't have a group of friends to play with. Oh look, it's a feral. Should I fight this feral? Maybe I should not. Should I not fight him? Oh wait, crap, I'm fighting him now. Why am I doing that? I made these characters specifically for this show. I can't get them killed. I think we're playing in Dread right now, so, you know, that feral might not be a pushover. So let me get this van back home without fighting the feral. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, so I can't really play the game for reals if I'm too scared to hurt any of my characters, because I got oh, look at this horde. I got exactly the characters that I wanted to show the stuff we're going to show. Psycho Killer wonders if we're going to do an update where we can recruit more people. So I think that's not out of the question. I actually heard a programmer today in a meeting reveal that they had figured something out. They'd worked out a tool that I might be able to abuse to get you guys some more recruits. So no immediate promises, because, you know, me thinking of something today means it could take a very long time before it's actually in your hands. But that's not an unreasonable request, Psycho Killer. Oh man, it looks like I think the chat. So lately, Restream chat has been freezing up, and so I think it's frozen now. I think I can't see what you guys are saying, so I gotta scooch over and. Oh, I hate when this happens. Okay, so let me load this sucker. Okay, Restream is telling me the chat is ready to display messages. Might as well hide that one. It's never coming back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Scarproof is asking if we can build a community from our legacy pools. So that is a feature we've been talking about a lot over here. I can't make any, as always, I can't make any promises for when or how certain things might come in, but we're taking that one very seriously. The suggestion that you should be able to pull more of your community at a time into, more of your legacy pool at a time into the game. That's definitely a thing we're taking seriously. So, you know, we'll have to see. We're still, right now, you know, we're very focused on the Trumbull Valley thing. The thing that we can't tell you any more about. We're very focused on it, and it's taking up a lot of our attention. And so a lot of the stuff, basically, as we ramp down on that, that's when we'll have opportunities to look at a lot of these ideas you guys have been bringing up lately, because I like a lot of them, and we want to try to address some of the needs you guys are bringing up. Kiowa Ree, stay tuned. That's all I'll say to that. So if you guys want to know what scroll up to see Kiowa Ree's question. That might very well be what this stream is all about. So there we go. PewDiePie wants to know if we can build up defenses and stuff like walls. That's a little tougher, because it would mean we would have to go and make major changes to every single base in the game. So it would have to be really, really worth it. And I'm not. It would take a lot of effort. So that's one that I'm less eager to say positive things about, just because I know the costs that would be involved. We'd have to have a very good idea of how it was going to work. It'd have to be very, very worth it. Have a revolutionary change to how fun the game is to be worth the expense. See here, Sailor Wolf says that he misses the days of having a group of 74 people. I don't miss it that much, just because you can't possibly know who all those people are. I don't, that wasn't the way I played, but I understand that level of achievement probably felt good. Big Lou wants to know, what's with the random hostile enclave that spawns with a red Talon agent? So that is probably part of one of the mysterious broadcast missions. Those came out with the Zed Hunter update with the crossbows. That enclave exists because there's somebody else somewhere on the map who wants you to go and assassinate that red Talon agent. So if you find that person, then you can resolve a mission with that thing, and maybe actually two of those characters can actually become friendly if you kill just the red Talon agent and you're pursuing it as part of that mission. Good afternoon, Niacyan and P1. Honda Deluxe wants to know if it's possible to take the mask off a red Talon recruit. Not yet. They've got a very specific model, and we would have to make major changes to be able to do anything about that. But yeah, we've heard people say that. We've got possible ideas in mind there, but not right now. Kiaz wants to know if there's a difference between the two Red Talon contractors. Only visual. The only difference is visual. Everything else about them is exactly the same under the hood. Elandru, character creation will be hard. Our characters are very complex, and like the traits that they have are pulled from a massive list of traits that you really don't want to have to scroll through in order to make selections. We've definitely heard the desire for people to have some level of character customization, and while I definitely can't promise anything at this point, that is something that we've looked at very seriously. Greenmaster wants to know if we have an ETA on the weapon. So we don't have an ETA on the update. We're going to be showing a few more aspects of that update today. We can't tell you exactly when. It is very soon, though. This isn't like months and months and months from now. This is like, it's getting close. We need to fully vet this thing before we put it out to you guys. We don't want to go break your game or bust out your speakers or anything like that with a, an update that isn't ready. Yeah, so Kenway Altair is suggesting that we can increase the maximum number of community members. The reason why that's hard, there's a lot of reasons why that's hard. Part of it is because we really did try to design and balance the game so that it made sense with a certain number. Once you can have too many, you can have every single specialization, and it stops being a case of making trade-off decisions between one thing and another, and it just becomes, can you collect them all? And that's a different experience, and so fundamentally changing the balance of the game feels sketchy. Maybe if we increased the number of valuable fifth skills in the game, it would be easier for us to consider increasing the possible community size. And there's also just the fact that that screen, where you look at your community, it is built for exactly the number of community members that we support. We would have to restructure that screen, which is kind of an expensive proposition to make an increase happen. That doesn't mean we'll never do it, but we would have to have the right. We can't just make that one change, just change a number and there you go. There's a lot of changes that would have to happen simultaneously. It would have to be the right time with the right situation to make it happen. Khalil Motorcycles, I wish we had the animations available to be able to do that. David Stewart wants to know if we will ever have two-handed weapons like they had in the original game. I can't answer that. Will we ever type questions. That is another one that actually, like, an animator was talking to me about that the other day, that they would love to be able to animate that stuff and put it in the game. So we'll have to see if that ends up being possible. I know that it's an attractive thing, right? It's a whole other class of weapons that people would get to play with. So it sounds fun. It's just, it is a lot of work to get an entirely new combat suite put together. There's like lots of different people that have to contribute to that to make it work. King Pirate says, I'd pay $10 to have more people in a bigger base. I think if we ever let you have more people, that would probably be a free update. We're not going to make you pay for that. I appreciate the sentiment. People tend to, in general, feel nickel and dimed if you make them pay for small things like that don't feel like a lot of work went into crafting content. Now, it does actually take a lot of work to craft a new feature, but people don't feel it the same way. They feel it with content. And so you have to kind of estimate how people are going to view the experience of buying something and give them something that they feel like, on a gut, visceral level, will have the value that they paid. And it's difficult to make that, to balance that out when you're not offering a lot of new content. And so it's a weird, human psychology when it comes to spending money is very complicated, and trying to figure out what people will feel good about spending money on generally versus what most people would feel bad about spending money on is a big weird part of your job when you're selling digital stuff that doesn't exist in the real world. Gooniverse, I can't give you a percentage on Trumbull Valley. For one thing, just because, I mean, Trumbull Valley started a long time ago as one person's little side project, and it grew into something much larger. So do I count, when I'm trying to count out the percentages, do I count time? Do I count effort? Do I count, it's kind of hard, it's just kind of hard to make that work, so. Mr. Darts is suggesting playing the community past the end of a legacy. That's an interesting question. So we originally designed the legacies with the idea in mind that some of them would be dramatic enough changes, like the story would presume that there was a dramatic enough change made to the area that you took over, that continuing to play after that would feel weird. Now it turns out the stories we ended up with don't necessarily have that same level of impact, and so that doesn't sound completely impossible, but I don't know. It also, there'd be a lot. We're just assuming right now that everything ends there. There's a lot of stuff that. The thing you learn when you're doing game development a lot is something that sounds like a simple change. You have to think through a million different side effects it could have, and there's always some weird thing. So I hadn't really considered that, Mr. Dart. I think about it more, but it sounds complicated. Who's coming in? Nobody? Oh, somebody bumped into the door, so I thought they were coming in, but I guess not yet. Let's see here. Harvey wants to know, can we get car entry restrictions? Can you explain that more? Are you saying, like, not letting guests use certain cars? Yeah, Soviet Manhunters, it sounds like you've already figured out one of the reasons why we don't allow a lot of text entry into the game is because, or any text entry into the game, is because people can put whatever they wanted in there. It's a multiplayer game, and if we let people just put whatever they want into the name slots, people could do a lot of horrific, offensive things and mess up other people's experiences with the game. And so it's a very, if we ever decide to allow text entry, it's going to be a very careful decision with a lot of safeguards around it. Yeah, Blaze. I mentioned that earlier on, that yeah, people have been mentioning a lot that they'd love to be able to pull characters out of their legacy pool and put them in larger numbers into their communities. And we've taken that seriously. I can't make any specific promises, but we are paying attention to that. Look, it's Brant! What are we doing?
I was waving.
Oh, I thought you were going to shake my hand. And then
No!
I was like, oh, he left me hanging!
No way.
So I think I am in inverted mode over there. I tried to play for a minute, then I realized I didn't want to get this character killed because I set up a very specific community to show off some of the stuff we're showing off.
Jeffrey.
So we should probably just sit here and be charismatic and attractive rather than playing the game.
Should I leave?
No, actually, I almost made your subtitle on your name tag eye candy today, but I decided that having your Twitter handle on there would be more useful to people, so I just put that back. But anyway, so just don't get anyone killed. That's the main thing.
I'm still hung up on, like, the charismatic and attractive. If that's what people are coming here for, then I should get off camera.
I've got my sexy new glasses on, so...
And guess what? Mine don't work with my cataract, so I can't see. There's nothing. There's a blob.
Jesh Pasilao asks if there's a trait for meme expert. There is not, though. That would be, it could be a pretty funny one. I think it would probably be based on my children, who they're like aware of internet memes before I am now, which makes me kind of afraid. But they were like, I came home one day and they were just, all they were talking about was Big Chungus. And I had no idea what they were talking about. Everything was Big Chungus.
Big Chungus?
Have you heard of Big Chungus?
Nope.
It's got a weird, like all memes, it's got a weird storied history, but it ended up being a picture of a PlayStation game with a fat Bugs Bunny on the cover, and the game was called Big Chungus. But people have written songs about Big Chungus, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But my kids can like do like a whole dance to the Big Chungus song. Yeah. I'm
so far behind in memes. I just found out about this thing called getting rickrolled. It's pretty hilarious if you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh man, so our restream chat just keeps dying. It's making me sad.
It's okay. I see friends. Peachy, am I on camera?
You should be. Yes, you are on camera.
Peachy, I don't know if this probably ended before you were born, but I wore this for our UK fans today.
Nice. That is a beautiful smegging shirt.
That's right.
Demon King Oda is giving me crap for being inverted. That's mean. Unless actually maybe this one has also fallen behind. Maybe that was an old quote that I'm reading.
Hello to everybody. New friends, old friends.
Garlic Burp watched Red Dwarf when it first aired.
You and I were watching at the same time, probably, Garlic.
Oh, Cobra Blacklist is joining us from Germany. Guten Tag. Or as it's probably... Well, what is it over there?
It's Guten Tag. Ich lerne nur ein bisschen Deutsch auf Schule.
It might be nighttime over there is what I'm thinking. It's probably Guten Tag is probably wrong.
Well, they're 8 hours ahead of us.
Is it like Guten Nacht or something
It
like
would
that?
be Guten Abend.
Guten Abend, evening?
Yes.
Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Hope I said that mostly right.
Or, to be less offensive, have a good evening.
Oh, I guess
We
that's
hope
true.
you're having a good evening.
See, you're saying that my German is so bad it's offensive?
It's offensive to me, and I'm Irish.
All right. Awesome. Well, hey, Igor just sent us big hugs from Ireland. So we're
Hey,
good.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Oh, Mr. Potato's from Israel. So, shalom to you. And
And New Jersey. Hey, how's it going? I know, that was
Oh.
maybe the most offensive thing right there.
salut, mon prince.
Mon Prince, we got
And,
P1, Mr. Dart.
Brown Cloud is from Switzerland, and so there's like 4 different languages we could use, and so let's just use none of them. They're just like right there at like at the mountains where like 4 different countries meet, and yeah, who knows what you say there. Oh, Killer Zonor is from Norway. We need to ask Jürgen how to say hello in Norwegian. We don't know. I don't know. Probably hello.
Probably. Hello. With an A.
Oh yeah, probably hello or something like that. Yeah, I imagine because we got half our words from them when they invaded England a bunch.
Yay,
So-
love from Mexico. Mexico. Hola. Elandru, 29.
What?
Mexico's one of my favorite places in the entire world, and center of the universe.
It's certainly the center of the taco universe.
It's the center of the universe,
Which
just
for
so
you is just the
happens
universe.
to include the best food that's ever been made by man.
Hey, look, it's Matthew Bozarth.
Whoa, what'd you do?
He's our guest.
Hi.
So you're kind of halfway on camera. You sit in that chair. You're kind of halfway on camera in 2 different places. And I'm going to try, now that we sit wherever you're comfy and you can see that screen right there. So that's going to be the camera you're on. And that's going to be the chat you can read.
You need to bring it in here.
No, I'm trying to get right in between the two of them.
You need to bring it on in.
So we're going to start.
Uncomfortably close.
We're going to officially start in 9 minutes. Okay, let me scoot the camera over.
Oh, we got Brazil. Do you know Portuguese? Brazilian
I
Portuguese?
can only say thank you. I think thank you is obrigado. But that's the only word I know in Portuguese.
Don't you
we
dare.
we were talking about the best food.
We were. That's true.
I think I moved it too far over.
I'm hungry again.
Scoot it again.
Great Pause says convince them to add tacos so we can make them in the kitchen. Well, I mean, if you could achieve taco technology in State of Decay, then you've won.
I feel like, yeah, maybe we should do updates so the feast is different foods at different times a year. So, like,
Could
for
be.
Cinco de Mayo, we have, like, be a taco feast. And that might be weird.
For St. Patrick's, it could be snakes.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought you were just going to
that
say
is-
beer. And then
don't be
you
so
go with
culturally
snakes.
insensitive, Jeffrey.
I know. Well, you know, I mean, I clearly have enough Irish blood that I feel like it's okay for me to make fun of Ireland.
Yeah, to support all the snakes that.
Oh, since we're not on
were
stream,
rid.
I just
I'm
ate it-
going to-
We are kind of on stream.
I'm going to open this cool package that I got from one of our fans because I ordered off their Etsy store because we like to give back.
Okay, since you ordered from their Etsy store, I won't duck and cover the same way I would if it had just come randomly from someone.
No, this was a long-time fan's Etsy store.
That's cool.
And he let me know that he and his wife started an Etsy store, so I ordered. I'm not going to plug it because, I mean, I should, but my father makes high-end acoustic guitars.
Yes.
And so I ordered metal picks that
Oh,
he can
wow.
include in each guitar.
That's cool.
So
How
cool.
well does a metal pick work?
This is
certain-
mostly just, it's just
Just
like
as like
something,
a souvenir type
something
thing.
cool,
Like,
like-
you can put it on your keychain.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
basically
So I
has
feel
n-
like for some stuff.
has nothing to do with the guitar itself.
Okay, I feel like for certain types of music, like a metal pick could sound really good, but for most, probably not so much.
Yeah.
So periodically the chat has been dying, and I have to reload it. So let me know if it looks like it hasn't moved for a bit, and I'll have to go through reload it because it's easy for us to fall behind because there's been something going on with Restream. I need to contact them and see what's happening.
So I can't read anyone's names
No, because
because it's purple on like a
yeah,
purple,
it's
blue
blue on
background.
purple or purple on blue.
Yeah, there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Basically, my only choices are blue background or white background. So something is going to be impossible to
Ooh,
read,
So I can read the names or what they say.
but only one. Yeah. So
a tough choice.
if I flipped it, you could just say, "Hey, so and so is in the
Just
room."
like flip it back and forth every second.
Juan Carlos on YouTube says, add the Lancer from Gears because I want to cut zombies in half. That would be totally great, except we'd get sued by our own company, sort of like how Fox sued The Simpsons at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We do have Halo references in our game, so something like that. I don't think we could actually do. It would be weird cross-pollination to an actual Lancer.
I feel like it's the other way around. We can put every Microsoft, we should, and are probably obligated to put every IP that Microsoft owns.
There is a Gears
in our
of War
game.
reference in the game.
Well, if we're going to do Microsoft own IP, then I want Voodoo Vince all over the place.
Yeah.
If you have the trait that's something about like have LAN parties or something like that, specifically Gears of War is the game that you use to play with your friends.
I want to play as Flight Simulator.
I wish I had friends, so I could have
Oh
experienced
man,
that.
people were asking me if I played World War Z yet, and I'm like, I would need friends to play.
I would
a
need friends
co-op
too.
game.
I have watched quite a few people, including some of you, play World War Z, and it's crazy.
It does look like it's just over the top,
It's
ridiculous.
wild.
Do you think I should play it with my 4-year-old son? Is that because I could probably? Do they do couch co-op? Because you're looking at me
I
like
don't
I'm a
think
bad
modern-
parent
I
or
don't-
something.
I don't think modern games really do couch co-op that much. Not AAA stuff.
Not that often, yeah. I kind of assume that everyone wants to buy multiple
That's a g-
consoles.
Well,
And then the next big one that we need to look at is Days Gone, right? Because
Yeah, that's on Thursday. I think that comes out. Thursday or Friday.
26th, whatever the day that is.
Oh, that's Friday.
Okay.
26th is Friday. So like when you're like crying about all of the dead Avengers, you can go and play.
Jazzy
Days Gone.
Noop, yes, I agree. Voodoo Vince was actually the first 3D game I ever did levels for. So I'm going to plug it.
Nice.
never heard of it.
We should totally put Voodoo Vince
Was
in
I
our
Very,
alive?
very few people.
Was I alive at that time? There are video games that came out before I was born.
There are I think Pong came out before I was born, and that might be about the list. I was born in '78, so like there were 70s video games, but not that many of them.
I don't.
3 minutes until we're gonna start
I don't-
this ridiculous thing.
Nothing to say about that.
I'll be right back.
So, Toro Fix is from Portugal. So we were already talking about not speaking any Portuguese, and now we doubly can't speak any Portuguese because we've got two different kinds of Portuguese represented in the audience here.
Yeah, that's the issue.
He actually left. I hope he's coming back. I mean, Matthew, you might have to play the game. Which, we play this game way too much as it is. So I don't want to torture anybody. But Lost Wizard Gaming, a lot of you folks you're asking about features that we are just as excited about as you are for the potential for them eventually to get in the game. I always wanted to get network themed characters in the game. There just hasn't been the right occasion yet for it. But I love hearing all this enthusiasm about stuff to add. That is not what we're announcing today. Only one person so far has mentioned a feature that is actually going to be in today's show, and I didn't tell you out loud what it was. But
Sounds like a classic developer stream. List features you want in the game, and we won't tell you if they're in the game or not.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Can't comment. Yeah, we're not gonna have that one. Can't comment.
So Night Rod, I don't know if you were here last week, but we are putting more guns in the game. We can give you a quick little glance. All the characters in the community that I set up have got guns from the upcoming update. So there's actually I think 13 new guns coming into the next update. So they're all from the American arsenal in World War II. And if people like it, we might very easily decide to do more of that kind of thing. So I was wondering if you were coming back.
Oh yeah, I can take an insult
What
like the best of them.
But there were no insults.
Was I
Only
alive?
facts.
Are you older than 15?
Facts. Yes.
We're going to be giving a pin away at some point later on today, so pay attention during the stream because the trivia question is about stuff you can only learn from this stream. And, let's see here.
Is it time?
It's almost done. We got like 1 minute.
Hi, Del. Nana! Yay!
Full Fury wants to have more HUD customization or the ability to have like a minimal HUD mode that flashes things up as you need them, but generally leaves it off. That's a cool idea. That's the kind of thing that I can mention to folks.
There's Big Crow.
This guy wants Claymore in it. I'm not really sure what putting an anime into the game would mean. But
I actually don't know if they mean a mine or a sword right now.
I think he's talking about a sword.
I don't know. Like I could.
You never know.
Was it singular or plural? If it was singular, probably sword. If it was plural, it's probably
I feel
mine.
like I can't see it now as it scrolled off screen. The context, I think, was like stances and stuff like that.
Hey, Dell's here and Nana
Yep.
Gamer
Yep.
and Coconut Kid.
Coconut
many
Kid, the
people
best
showing
taco
up.
topping is any taco. That's the best topping.
Like a taco on the taco?
Yeah, actually.
Like regular sized tacos or smaller tacos?
Like
Okay.
lots of little
Does
tacos.
it matter?
Well, yeah, but
I want to have a taco full of taquitos.
Sure. If it's wrapped, it's technically a taco.
All right, it is
All
actually
right.
2 o'clock. Let's. So we're gonna go dark for just a second, play the logo, and then we're gonna come in and I'll introduce you guys. So here we go.
fast.
Hi! Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Jeff Ricard, but who cares about me? We got these two guys over here. There's Brant Fitzgerald in the front. Hello, Brant. And then Matthew Bozarth, who is not here all the time. He is a programmer, and he's our guest today because we are talking about some new updates that are still coming to State of Decay 2. So last week, we talked about our arsenal of World War II weapons. that we're
Prominently
adding.
shown right here. One
Oh
of them.
yeah, so we can't actually see your screen right now. We got the big picture that Dan Mode made up on the screen right now of the 9 basic World War II weapons that we're adding, and then there's also 4 rare ones that actually the community that Brant's playing. 4 of his characters have got those equipped, so you can check those out. But we did a whole stream about that already. If you're watching this on YouTube, go back to the previous YouTube video. It'll be at the end of be on the end screen. Go check that out. Today we're here to talk about a few different features that we have not brought up yet. So, first off, Brent, do you want to bring up the community screen?
Yes, let me get inside where it's not safe at all.
Safe-ish. We're in dread mode, I think, right now.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so let's go. Go community screen. One more over. Okay, so let's look at the names of these characters. So, look, zoom in on Larry there. This guy, Larry. His name is Inocencio Lawrence. So, Larry, his nickname, is based on his last name. And it turns out this is the first time that's been possible since the game came out. Scooch around, we got a few more like that too. Weira, this guy's name is Danusha Weirasekara. And but he goes by Weira, which is a shortening of his last name, which is actually it's a pretty common thing people with long last names tend to do. Lucky, his nickname just comes from his first name. It's just sort of a clever pronunciation of his first name. And look at the most amazing hoodie in the game right now. That's pretty cool. And then scooch over to Ren. I don't actually know where her name came from. So
I bet if we went into traits or something.
traits, yeah. I looked at these two, and I'm like, I don't know why. I need to look this one up. This is confusing to me.
Sometimes things just don't make sense.
But then Bridget Bronkowitz goes by Bronco, and so the thing that is new here is the fact that these names are based on their last names. It turns out we set up this whole system so that characters could go by nicknames that are based on their first name, that are based on their traits, or that are based on their last name. But it turns out the last name was not working. And so Matthew and I discovered that, and we're like, oh, holy crap. There's an entire huge list of last name-based nicknames that are in the game. And what?
It's got a tail!
It's got a tail. It does have a tail. That were not there. So we're unlocking a huge list of new nicknames. That's mostly John Paul Strange on Facebook. That's mostly for you. He's my favorite person because every time he finds a clever nickname, he posts it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
So that one's not as exciting because really I'm the only one who really is aware of this massive list of nicknames we haven't been using yet. And so I'm super excited, so I had to tell you guys.
Yeah, it's mostly for you.
That one is mostly for me. One that is more for you guys, there's another one we can do with the community screen. And I think maybe Matthew can tell us a little more. Oh, we need to refresh I need to refresh the chat. We can't actually see what you guys are saying to us. So I need to figure out a
You need me to go to the community screen again?
Yeah, go back to the community screen. So I'm not talking about the one that was my favorite. So right now, you've got... Oh, wait, are you playing as a leader right now?
Yeah.
You should probably switch to somebody else.
Okay.
Switch to, like, Weira or
Oh,
something.
I want to play Weira. That's a cool name.
Okay, so now open up the community screen.
Looks like some people know what they want this to be.
So, it's okay. It's not character customization, guys. Well, if we ever get that, we'll make a big deal out of it. I promise.
Yeah, we'll be charging around here with our hair on fire. What little hair I have, at least.
But check out the options we have on Lucky. Go over to Lucky again. He's our leader. No, that's not Lucky.
Oh, sorry, Larry.
Lucky, yeah. Back out again real quick.
Dang it!
Look! We got 3 choices here.
What?
Show details, take control, and Matthew, what's that?
Demote leader.
Exactly.
Demote.
Demote. You can demote your leader. So people are a little bit excited about that. They're mostly excited about that hoodie, though. People are like, I really need that hoodie.
So, do we demote him even though he has the most awesome hoodie?
I think we might have to. I think that maybe he's putting that hoodie ahead of his responsibilities.
Okay, I'm going to confirm.
Go for it, yeah.
You are... but he doesn't leave the Enclave, does he?
He doesn't leave. And
Okay.
actually, look, he's actually not demoted yet. He's got a little arrow over his head. You see that?
Yep.
So what does that mean? Let's back out and see what that means.
I mean, the difference is, like, you could still demote them before. It was just sort of a final solution
You could demote them to
to
death.
it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so can you see a little icon on your minimap?
Yes, I see it. I
Look
see
at that.
him.
So this
Oh, I can't jump
icon.
over this.
What does that mean? So you can actually there he is. Oh yeah. So that icon also appears. Oh, he was talking. That's why it wasn't appearing before. Yeah. So that icon helps you find them wherever they are in the world, and then you can go and finish the job.
Hi, buddy.
Nice to see you're still kicking.
Demote.
You
Confirm.
can confirm it.
A leader has to be able to make the
Lucky
tough
has
calls.
been
It's
demoted.
just not you.
Pick a new
You know
leader
it.
for your community. So go check out the community screen now.
You're demoting me? Fuck.
Okay, so go check out. Now, I don't know what this visual bug is on Lucky. The fact that his hoodie
It's
doesn't.
As
stealth
black
hoodie.
as midnight now.
It's like some kind of iridescent hoodie that only shows up like in
It's
direct
a
light.
nighttime stealth hoodie.
But go zoom in on him. Go check out his. So his standing, he's busted down to citizen now.
Whoa!
So what this means, you can't just round robin
Kind
your
of
leader.
unhappy too.
Right, because you lose your hero bonuses.
So look at
Yeah.
his morale.
Oh yeah. Check his morale out. Yeah, I think that's at the top section there. Yeah. So. Oh wow.
Recently demoted.
-20 for recently demoted. So he's sad about it. He's unhappy. He lost some. Everyone's going, oh, poor Lucky.
Not so. We should change his name now.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I have an important question though. Why does him snoring make him unhappy?
He's embarrassed,
Oh.
and also we don't have a way
Someone
to
told
apply.
him.
Sleep apnea.
We also don't have a way to apply a trait to everyone but one person. To apply a buff to everyone except one person. So we kind of went with the best we could there. But
All right,
yeah, so he's been demoted, and so if you wanted to exile a character, that icon that helps you find them, Matthew set these up, and they work for both. They work on both sides.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, you could go do it and then just,
Not finish
actually
the job.
finish it.
I'm not going to, because the community was shaken enough.
yanking him back and forth.
With Lucky being demoted.
Straight out of the office. You're fired.
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh, it was
you
a
know,
joke.
You gotta keep people on edge, right? If you want them to do their hardest work, you gotta make them think they're just right on the edge of despair at any given moment. That's how I run a community.
Lead through fear.
We need to.
Brent disapproves of my leadership style.
We're going to have. I'm going to apply mine, which uses wall-to-wall counseling very quickly here.
This town ain't safe.
Jeffrey.
Garlic Burp says, "Nice work, Matthew."
Yeah, thank you guys.
About the,
Dude,
yeah,
I think Bronco. I think.
You want to exile Bronco?
No, I think Bronco. Oh, she's not.
Oh, she should be the leader. Oh, you can. No, you can. You remember you do it from the leader slot. If you want to make her the leader.
Yeah, I'm going to make. I just wanted to make sure she was eligible.
Yeah, I made sure they were all eligible when I.
So she's a
cheated to create this
builder. We
community.
have 2 builders. Oh,
3 builders.
3
and
builders
a
and a trader. Well, Bronco, of course. Yes.
You always, you want to have a name like Bronco. I feel like she should be in charge.
Yeah. All right, Bronco.
So Raul Martin wants to know when this update is going to be released. We don't have a release date for you yet. It'll be very soon. We're just kind of going through the last phase of QA to make sure that this thing is solid and it's not going to break your game. But once we're there, it should be out pretty soon.
What else should I be looking at?
Well, let's see. Let me check my notes here. Oh, hey, you got a gun, right?
I do.
Why don't you open up your inventory and go look at that gun?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any new options there? See here, unequip, drop, unload. So this is another one of the features that Matthew added to the game.
Hold the phone. Okay, I'm gonna hug him for everyone here. Thank you. I know that was awkward for you, but it was not for me. Everyone here is loving the fact that we can now unload those weapons.
So show them how it works. Hold down that Y button. You got to make sure you don't tap the Y button because you'll drop the gun. But you hold it down. So now you've got all those 45 bullets you can use somewhere else. It was 45, right? Grease guns are 45?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, you can go use those somewhere else. So if you're about to sell a gun, you can dump all the bullets
you don't have
out.
to
So
give.
that was 30? Like, it says 30 on the screen.
But no, you're talking about.
You don't have to give away your precious bullets.
Yeah, and so M of 3K says, yeah, that grease gun is one of the World War II weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, go scavenging. Why don't you go fill the back of that?
I'm going to.
Go fill the back of that van up with some stuff. Oh, I need to reload the chat again.
Oh,
Oops.
come on.
It's no good. So yeah, we're falling behind the chat again. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there's people here. They're talking. I don't know.
One thing I haven't been keeping track of is a Wonder's been feeding me some of your questions. So, so Big Loop asked earlier whether demotion affects character morale, and I think you guys saw on the screen that it does. It has a -20 that lasts for I think it was about an hour. You've got a -20 on the character that got demoted. Hatredy555 wants to know,
Whoa.
can you get the hero bonus back? Yes, they've just been demoted to civilian to citizen. Which is just like if you had just barely recruited them. So you can bring them back up to hero again and unlock the hero bonus again. The main reason we did that is partly because it is embarrassing to lose a leadership position. And it does take time to build back up. It feels realistic to build back up to it. But also, it means you can't just round robin your leaders. You can't just swap back and forth constantly. If you demote someone, you have to commit to the new leader for a while before you can have that leader back.
There has to be consequences.
Scarproof wants to know if the leader-based buildings disappear when you demote somebody. No, they don't. It's just like when a leader dies. You still keep the building and a lot of the stuff that it can do, but there's certain things, certain actions on the building that only work if you have the active leader available. But the building sticks around. So if you want the same leader type again, you can just recruit a new one and it'll work just like it did before. And then Blaze Experience wants to know, if you demote someone, can they ever be leader again in the future? And the answer is yes. You just build them back up the same way. There's nothing lasting put on that character. There's no permanent stink on that character that keeps him from being a leader.
Oh man, this gun. Hard to control.
Yeah, I think is that the graveyard shift? I think that's the graveyard shift. All right. So while you are scavenging and trying to fill up that van with as much stuff as you can. Let's see, what other stuff were we going to talk about here? So, we did get a request, by the way. I think on Discord, I think it was Dunedane asked if we could, basically try to play with just our close combat weapons for a stream. And so you've got a gun, but I also took away all of your melee weapons. So if you get into
But the close combat is right there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if you want to get into some close combat fights,
Why
we
does
did have a request
Dunedin
for
want
that.
me to die?
Yeah, I think we're only playing in Dread Zone, so it shouldn't be a big deal.
Okay. All right, fine.
I feel like you need a more exciting close combat weapon than the kitchen knife.
sorry about this.
I guess that's true. I probably should have.
You wanted me to
cheated
fill
you
this
some better
up,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, leave some stuff in your inventory too, though. So go back and get some more things.
What
if you-
exactly am I doing?
We'll tell you. Yeah, make sure there's still some stuff in your inventory and some stuff in the car. And then, yeah, go take it back home and park it. Whenever you're ready.
Well,
We'll
I'm
just-
doing
we'll
the
just
first
play.
thing that you asked me to do first.
Exactly. That is totally fine.
Because I follow directions.
By the way, during the pre-stream, we got a lot of requests for. I think somebody wanted a Mosin Nagant added to the game. Everybody's got their favorite World War II weapons.
Everybody's got them. Everybody
Red
likes a
Moonwolf wants a
Mosin.
Sten gun.
So do we have the list of what the weapons are?
We
Is
do.
that not until release.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we actually last stream we showed them all.
Yeah.
And revealed that they were all going to be. In fact, I've got this lovely picture that you can't see
Wait a minute.
of the World War II arsenal.
Why-
Those
my
are the
re-
9 core guns there. So we've got a 1911, a 1917, an M1917 revolver, a grease gun, Thompson, a trench gun, a couple different versions of the M1 carbine. Looks like it's a 1903 sniper. Is that what
Yep.
that was? And a bar. So tons
2 versions
stuff.
of the BAR.
Yeah, so there's also like a rare version of the bar, a rare version of the Tommy gun, rare version of the grease gun, and a rare version of the M1 carbine. So we got all kinds of stuff for you guys to play with. Sorry we didn't get everyone's favorite historical guns, but we did get a fair number of them. So
Yeah.
that is the wrong thing to click. Okay, there we go. I accidentally gave everyone a close-up on your face, Brant.
Ugh.
I really hope nobody was traumatized.
Sorry. Okay, this is weird. Why can't I outpost? Requirements not met, and I've got them.
Oh, that's weird.
Bug.
Huh. It
Anyways.
must be a bug. We'll have to report that one.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so you want me to head
Yeah,
back
go
home.
take that home and park it in a parking slot.
Is something amazing going to happen?
Yeah, we'll have to find out. So, so M of 3K, I think we've actually named 3 new features. One of them is the ability to demote your leaders. I meant to put these titles up before and completely forgot. One of them is we unlocked a bunch of new nicknames. And one thing I didn't mention about the nicknames is the fact that if you get a character who's like a police officer or an army person or a red talon person, and they go by a really long last name, it used to be that it would just fill up the entire UI and it would like overrun and be cut off and it was all ugly. Now they always will choose a shortened version if their name is really long.
So, Jeffrey, I've parked in the parking spot.
Okay, well let me, here, I'll get our faces off the screen. And so open that trunk.
You need a gas can to open the trunk.
I guess so. Okay, so what you normally you see that RT deposit?
Mm-hmm.
Normally that's what you can do from the back of the truck, right? You can just shoot, so go ahead and just shoot a couple of things into the house. Oh, we're out of storage and our ammo. But yeah, so you can shoot stuff in there. Everyone's used to that, right? But then once you're done emptying the van, what do you have to do if you've got stuff in your inventory?
You have to put it over.
You gotta put it over the so go highlight some stuff in your
Oh,
inventory.
look at you.
Look at that! So everybody say, thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
Sorry, I'm sitting here doing most of the talking, but I just mostly have you here as a prop to be like, hey, everybody, look, this is the person you thank for these awesome things. So you can teleport stuff into your base straight from your inventory. You don't have to go through like the ridiculous procedure of dumping it into the trunk. Everyone is in the chat is saying thank you, Matthew, which is good. You guys are getting the update, right? Okay, good.
Yep.
Awesome. Those
Right
are
there.
the major things that we were gonna share today, and so we've got demoting leaders, we've got nicknames, we've got unloading magazines, and we've got transferring your inventory from both sides instead of
Let's see.
just from the
I
trunk.
want to fill this up.
Garlic Burp says someone gives Matthew a raise. We'll have to put that in your next review.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah,
Did
absolutely.
stuff that made the stream happy. I feel like there was a lot of other inventory action stuff that we did, but I don't know how much of it is just bug fixing and making sure it was consistent.
So yeah,
Which
so
is less exciting to talk about.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because when Matthew and I started looking at this, because we knew we wanted to add unloading magazines, and we knew we wanted to add transferring from your inventory. But when Matthew looked at it, he saw that there was like a million other things, like weird inconsistencies in the inventory system. And because, we wanted to get this update out and have it be stable, we didn't do all of those things at once. But we made a whole list. And so sometime in the future, there's probably going to be more that you guys can look forward to. Like, if there's places right now in the game where you feel like I should obviously be able to do this thing in my inventory, but I can't, we might have found solutions for some of those. But those are not coming in the next update. We decided to wait a little longer on those to make sure that they were QA'd properly and that people had time to find any problems with them. And that's always like a weird, interesting thing you have to do because sometimes it's really easy to implement a new feature, but then actually making sure that all of the edge cases are solved and all of the potential bugs have been found is like it's like this whole like it might take one day to implement something and then 3 weeks to be sure that we didn't break the rest.
Yeah, I
of the
mean,
game.
it's only a lot of work if you want it done correctly.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been trying really hard to make sure we build that into all of our plans these days. We like make sure that not just enough time to implement it, but enough time to test it. Make sure that by the time it gets to you guys, it's actually working the way we want it to. Were you pointing at something?
Okay, so
Again.
Oh, it's dead.
I'm sorry, Dune and Dane. I can't take this many on.
Oh, Brant.
Yes.
Brian figured out why you couldn't claim that outpost. It was because the site wasn't clear. I think there were a couple of zombies.
Oh,
We should probably be clearer about that.
Brian's
though. We should make that,
Brian's smart.
should send that note to Susan. Put it on her list. for
Okay,
next time she
Dune and
looks at
Dane.
that
I am
screen.
sorry. I can't. There's too many zombies here.
And this gun is just too good anyway to pass it up.
It is. It's a fantastic firearm, which I personally really like.
So, Matthew, Hansel Ladola wants to know, of the features that we've seen here, which was the most challenging to implement? Which one like might have had the most weird surprises or...
The little like icons to tell you where to find people when you demoted or exiled. I talked to the person who put little icons on the screen before, and they went, "That should be easy. Just reuse that system." And that was not true.
Yes.
So we had to implement some new technology to do that. So that was not that it was super hard. It just wasn't as easy as we initially thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only thing we ended up trying to do with that particular system, and we're not announcing all of it right now, but like Matthew had to do such a deep dive into how those things worked, and I think they're going to work much better now, secretly under the hood, than they did before. But it's interesting, like sort of when you're making a feature for a game, you know, and it's like you've got a due date and it's got to come out at a certain time. Sometimes just if it just works right now for the things that happen to use it, great. You're like, I'm done. Let's go. And that thing could be completely fragile and like because it's like a house of cards. And by the next time somebody needs to use it, it could just completely all collapse and fall apart. And so trying to build something so that it's really, really solid, so that future features can take advantage of it and it can be easily, you know, expanded and made more powerful, is great. But it takes a lot longer to do that kind of work. Let's see here.
I want to know if we have anyone else who's experienced playing the game. Since you're about to die.
Ye of little
It
faith.
seems very rude.
But we'll have to. We'll show the classic means of getting rid of the leader, which is just to take him out and get him killed. Oh, by the way, Brian points out that in answer to one of the old questions about leader facilities, I had suggested that some of the functionality of a leader facility might go away when you lose your leader, but Brian just confirmed in our private chat that that actually that doesn't happen anymore. That early on that was part of what we were doing, but these days when you lose a leader, you had to have the leader to build the building, but you don't lose any of the functionality of the building when the leader gets demoted. So you could do a round robin through a bunch of leaders and build a bunch of leader buildings and take advantage of them. And that would be just fine. As long as you're willing to spend the time to do it.
Because it's a shotgun and it doesn't fire very fast.
So there were a couple of other features that I thought I would mention that are going in. This one of them is actually I just realized I could have put one of these in your inventory, but I didn't do it.
I don't know what, like a grenade that might help.
No. I was thinking more of like if you had a damaged vehicle, we actually upgraded the quick repair toolkits. So this actually was a very specific request from a player. I forgot who. Somebody in Discord contacted me and said, "Hey, I never use the quick repair toolkits because the only time I repair a car is when I'm not in danger anyway. So the fact that it repairs quickly doesn't really help me. It just means it takes less time, but whatever. The time difference isn't that huge." And they're like, "Why would I ever make a quick repair toolkit?" And Brian and I chatted about it, and we agreed. And so now, quick repair toolkits, they're going to get swapped out for what's called advanced toolkits. So advanced toolkits are just as fast as quick repair toolkits, but they also heal twice as much. And so they don't cost twice as much, but they heal twice as much. And so if you unlock those things and you craft them at your base, they're actually a much more
Worth it.
cost-effective way to repair your vehicles. So they'll take a completely
guy?
busted up vehicle
Hey,
and get
Reggie,
it
what are you
almost
doing in the
to,
bushes?
get it almost to maximum health.
Just hiding.
Let me look back at the.
I would be too after that.
See here. You guys chat still working?
Interrupted my.
Okay, good.
For now.
So yeah, so remember that. So advanced toolkits, that is a thing that's coming in the next update. So it used to be called Quick Repair. Now it's called Advanced, mostly just because we wanted to be really clear that something had changed about them. And Quick Repair was just so specific to the functionality they had before. We wanted to make sure that it was obvious that they did more. So
I need a quick repair kit right now.
excuse me, they're called Advanced Toolkits.
I mean, advanced tool.
Vehicle looks like it's got some sort of look like.
So another thing that people told us about was that apparently the pyro minefields, the deployable pyro minefields that you get from Daybreak, apparently they were using the wrong projectiles, and so they were just normal minefields. They were not. They were called pyro minefields. But they were not
Oh,
actually
that's
setting it
not
on fire.
cool.
So that has been fixed in the upcoming update that we can't tell you when it's coming. So they will actually be fixed. They will actually set things on fire the way they're supposed to. So thank you, whoever it was who reported that, because that was very, very helpful.
I mean, we can confidently say it's sometime this year, right? It's a
yes.
thing that we're comfortable saying.
It's sometime soon is what we're cleared to say. Sometime soon. But yeah, so Tremelia wants to know if it's actually possible to sneak around in bushes in State of Decay 2, because that was a thing in State of Decay 1.
Right.
But in State of Decay 2, I don't believe
Nope.
that really does anything. I think you can hide behind an obstacle. Like some obstacles do block vision, but I don't think bushes are
the
specifically.
line of sight fidelity is better, but we decided not to let you just duck into a little bush and sit there.
Yeah, Magic Man 79 says, "I miss hiding in the bushes, just like real life."
Gross. Get out of the bushes. All right. I did my due diligence. I fought like 7 of those guys with my close combat weapon. I am not going to do that again because that was not nice.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Well, like I said, you need a better one. Kitchen knife's not good enough.
Yeah, so Harvey Spiderweb,
That's all I got.
I'll take a note of your suggestion that we could put some kind of rules that possibly prevent other players from driving your cars around when they're guests in your game. We don't have that right now. We don't have it on a slate yet, but I'll take a note about
Hello from Istanbul.
Wow. Hello.
Whoa.
Join us and help us around here.
that. That is a long ways away. Thank you
I don't
for
wanna
coming and joining us.
I want to sing the song.
No. Let's not sing the song. My wife is actually one of my first dates with my wife was to a They Might Be Giants concert. So
don't let's start. This is the worst part. To believe for all the world that you're my precious little girl. That forget it.
that just puts a little house in my soul. Let's see.
He wants to know if you can unload weapons if they're in your community locker. Should go
There's a good question.
Check that
Yeah,
out.
go give that a try.
Let's try it.
We play this game for a long time. Can you unload it here?
Yep.
Can you unload it here?
Unload.
Should be pretty much everywhere you care about.
Look at that. Just the bullets are piling up. I don't even know what to do anymore. Thank you again. That's huge. That's huge.
So,
We survived.
did you ever
That's
end
what
up planning an
matters.
outpost?
No.
Let's go make an outpost. There's something I want to.
I'm going to go back and take over that that spot that I couldn't earlier. I'm going to take lots of bullets.
Magic Man 79 asks if we can load the weapons in the supply locker.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Cannot load them anywhere except if they're equipped.
Yeah, and a big part of that is just the fact that loading involves this specific animation, takes a certain amount of time, makes a certain sound, and trying to do it independent of that it's dicey. Especially like if you expect to be able to do it in your inventory, it's kind of dicey. And so we decided to shy away from that. It opened a lot of uncomfortable cans of worms.
Yeah, some of you guys might have noticed that if you load a gun, there's kind of multiple steps, and if you get interrupted, if you finish one of those steps, you don't have to redo it because you've done the work. Your character did that animation, and that really only makes sense if your character is loading the active weapon.
All right.
So we've got another suggestion from Roda. We've heard this suggestion multiple times today, that maybe people should be able to recruit characters from the network who are specialized less in combat and more in community type stuff. And yeah, that is a request we've heard a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. The question is really just sort of finding the right context for that, because Red Talon arrived with Daybreak, right, where they had this special mode that was all about them. And it feels like something themed to the network should happen before we to sort of inspire us to bring network characters in. So I don't know exactly what that would be, and maybe I'm just talking out of my butt. Maybe sometime we'll just do it with nothing. But I don't know. I'd love to figure out the right setting to sort of explain, not just putting a network veneer on them, but actually explain who these characters are and where they're coming from.
So this guy wants a larger melee weapon that has more damage but costs more stamina. Don't we have ridiculous, stupid melee weapons?
I think one of them
I
comes with the
wouldn't call them
Independence Pack.
stupid.
I think there is one that comes with the Independence Pack. It's a baseball bat
Yeah, the
with a
Bell
weight
Club.
on the end.
Isn't it the Bell Club, the one that like people
Yeah.
swing
Oh
it?
yeah, there's that
The
one.
Persian
Yeah, I forgot
Mule.
about that one.
Yeah, that thing.
And then there's the bell, the
And
club
Persian
bell.
Meal was the one I was thinking of.
But yeah, there are folks who've been asking a lot for if we tried to do something like a maul axe or a sledgehammer, it does require a different set of animations to really sell.
Yep,
that you're
we
swinging
don't
that kind of gun.
we don't have the
weapon.
two-handed like heavy weapon melee set. Or okay.
Yeah, Sanguinius the Freedom Ringer. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay. It's not that we don't have it. It's we don't have the memory and all that stuff.
So
For that.
if we ever did get sort of the time and the resources to do it, I mean, that we originally, we were like, oh, we can have all kinds of weapons in this game, and cutting it down to a manageable set was actually a painful process for us. And so if we managed to, to get into a situation where we could add these weapons you guys are talking about, we would love to. It's just, we have to. There's a lot of stuff that would have to happen to make it work. So yeah, Legit Legacy is bringing up spears. That would be again another really interesting kind of weapon, especially against zombies, right? Jabbing at their face. In fact, I could even imagine using a spear like a ranged weapon. Like you got to aim the crosshair and poke the spear in the right place. But we don't have that, and again, it's a whole other suite of combat animations, which is a big deal. Both in terms of the work that it takes to create that and to make it feel right to use, and also just the system resources to have a character with that many more animations.
Yeah, having a whole suite of melee animations is very
All right,
expensive.
now I can claim
for
this
a
site.
variety of reasons.
All right, claiming site.
All right, claim outpost. Okay, so one of the things you can do
Outpost is
at
up
an
and running.
outpost is swap characters. Actually, turn your light on. Okay, so notice there's two things I want to show you. Notice your flashlight is on right now. And you can open up the community screen right now and switch characters, right?
Oops, wrong button.
Let's get so we can actually see everything. So go ahead and just pick somebody else and switch to them. So yeah, take control of Weira. So Weira shows up. Number one, notice his flashlight is on. Right now, it used to be that, in fact, right now in the game, if you switch characters, you lose your flashlight being on. But now we're actually maintaining that. So if you've got your flashlight on and you walk up to a character and switch to them, they will turn their flashlight on. The other thing
Did
is...
we do that at the same time we set it up so that it remembers when you get in and out of a vehicle?
No, that one's actually already... That was in the previous update. So that one's already in the
Because I
game.
remember doing that one, but I didn't remember doing this one.
Yeah, I think Jurgen had a little hotfix team that came in and added this after our patch team was done. But then on top of that, notice that Bronco is not in this building right now. So we used to have a problem, like for a long time, the way it worked was when you switched characters in an outpost, your old character that you just abandoned was still at the outpost and they would run home, which was fine in standard zones. They would just always make it home, and it was fine. But now that we've got nightmare zones, lots more zombies, they kill you much faster, plague kills you really quickly.
Trouble.
It was a lot of trouble to send somebody running home And so now, when you switch characters at an outpost, they just teleport home. The new character teleports in, the old character teleports
Yay.
home.
Oh, see? Look at that. Oh, hey. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, and we just don't make you worry about it.
I don't know, he just wants to play.
Jugs want hugs, but they get none.
How do we not have that T-shirt?
Because we don't
Jugs
have any
want hugs.
T-shirts.
We should think about that one when
Jugs want hugs.
Jugs want hugs.
But seriously, how do we not have that?
Yeah, no, I'm really surprised.
Because I would get fired if I created my own T-shirts.
If you were in charge of making new T-shirts.
No. I would get fired if I created my own T-shirts without, like, the consent of the greater entity. I've wanted to for
Like
a
because
very
you
long
don't have
time.
permission, or because once your creativity was unleashed, it would just consume everything.
We'd become a T-shirt company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An option to not do a legacy?
I mean, you always have the option to not
Not
do a
do it.
legacy. Oh, I bet that means, like, not finish it, even though you've...
Finished it, like keep playing. Mr. Dart suggested the same thing earlier on.
Well, what does Dart know, though? Okay, he knows a lot. I've been giving him lots of, like, bits on...
Lieutenant Taka.
Because he's a very entertaining stream.
If there's a list of weapons, are you asking about new weapons or just all of the weapons in the game?
Yeah, I think people have been compiling. There might be like a wiki somewhere.
Yeah,
or
say there's
something.
got to be a like user-generated wiki that has all that stuff.
There
That
is.
will be more up to date with better information than anything we can provide.
Yeah, if they're just asking about the World War II weapons that we're adding, you can see this diagram here, right? I never know which way to point. Right there, it's right there, right there, where you can see there's a 1911, an M1917, a what are you doing, you weirdo? A grease gun, a Tommy gun, a trench gun, a couple of carbines, a sniper rifle, and a BAR. And then actually 4 rare variants of those weapons. So if you're interested in seeing what the new weapons are, that's what they are. And whenever this update comes out, we're going to also issue patch notes to give you a full rundown of everything that's coming in.
Steve-O says he'll pay for anything we add to the game. Anything.
Anything. Wow.
I'm going to go back and add, like...
I'll just add a new nickname.
I'll add a
every day.
note. Yeah. I'll add something. No.
That is actually what I do. I mean, like, anytime I meet somebody with an
crud.
interesting name,
That's not the way to keep your car running.
I write it down, and at least once a week I add more names and nicknames to the game. And so that group that is just slowly growing. And I owe that to Matthew for making me such a user-friendly tool for adding names and nicknames to the game. So another thing you guys can thank Matthew for is how many weird and different nicknames there are, because if it had been difficult to add those to the game, I would have stopped at 1,000. But instead, there are thousands of names in the game because it's so user-friendly.
As soon as these ads are taken care of, I am going to get out and deal with this guy. Away from my car.
It is interesting how
Oh.
much the final state of the game depends on how good the tools are. It's like the players at home can't see the tools at all. They have no idea what kind of tools they have. But you can kind of tell how good the tools are by how much content, how quickly we create it, how, you know, like when we have a game with a ton of variety in it, like State of Decay 2, so much of that is down to somebody having made us good tools.
Yeah, and it's not so much that you can't make good content with bad tools, it's that you don't iterate. By making a really good tool really easy to use, you can make some crappy content and then go, oh, that wasn't good, and then make some better content.
Come on.
And then make some better content, make some better content. Or if it's really crappy, you make it once and go, that was bad, but we don't have time to make anything better.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my last mag. Could be a problem later.
Juggernaut. So very exciting.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Does he light other zombies on
Yes.
fire as
Yes,
he
he
charges through them? Oh, it's so good.
For my ammo.
Does he just stay on fire?
I think I'm out of bullets. Crud.
And he's on fire.
It's going to make for some good times.
No, he puts himself out.
Steve-O69 just asked.
Oh, no.
sexy ferals?
No.
I can't tell if Steve-O is asking if the current ferals are sexy, because I would say no. No, I don't think they are.
That guy is agile. Just hops right up there.
Oh, I have been.
I also use that as a way to make it so he doesn't hurt me as much.
Wait.
Oh, except for when he does that. Ow. Ouch! Oh, it hurts, Grandma.
So, Mert Gulgan wanted to know.
No, don't.
About 15 minutes ago, back when Wonder was the only one reading the chat, how the boons for leaders work when you demote them. So, the boons that you choose at the beginning of a game don't
get over
change
there.
as your leader changes.
Get,
You know,
get him. Oh,
I'll
get
get into this in a minute.
No! Come on! I tried so hard.
Oh, you're going to die.
Nope. Watch this. Boom! And this time,
Is he still on fire? Is that what's going on?
I keep like dying.
Well, I think I know why that's happening.
I promise I'll answer your question in a minute.
Oh, my car is not going to be a good place to hide behind.
I just realized this is a bad time.
Oh boy. Now, is this guy gonna mess with my program again?
I feel like something weird's going on.
It's not like I can't take care of this on my own, but some help would be
Oh my god. Come on.
You're gonna die of plague either way.
Don't let me die this way!
Whoa, Mira is
Well,
dead.
the
I sat there regenerating that character so many times until I got a useful nickname. So Mert Gulgan wants to know how leader demotion affects boons. So because you choose boons at the sorry about that. Because you choose boons at the beginning of the game, it's not actually affected by your leader in the middle of the game. You can change your leaders all you want. It won't affect which boons you have active.
yeah.
If you demote your leader and pick a different leader in the middle of your leader's arc at the end of the game and you're driving towards a legacy, I think that's going to reset. You have to start that over from the beginning.
Okay, I'm a little upset now.
Blaze Experience wants to know if we can show the difference between the regular and advanced toolkit on the air. I had planned to be able to do that and forgot to cheat us those items. So no, we can't show that right now. But maybe in the next stream we'll be able to pull it off. Let's see here. Oh, Han Solo has a question for Matthew that I'll get to after I answer a couple of smaller ones. Actually, nope. The rest of these questions are bad. No. Just kidding. So Han Solo wants to know, Matthew, how did you get your start in the industry? Where'd you come from?
I went to school, studied computer science, went to grad school to do a little more game development focused programming, and then after that got a job at a game studio in Southern California. So that's how I got started.
Was that your last job before you came here?
No, before I was here, I was at Microsoft working on a game called Project Spark.
Oh, I didn't know you were on the Spark team.
I was, yeah.
That was a neat game. That was very, just basically make your own game kind of game, huh?
It was a very polished, easy-to-use game editor with its own visual scripting language that was just throw blocks together. It was very powerful. It was super awesome for building prototype stuff. You could just, if you were familiar with the tools, I mean the game.
Yeah.
You could throw together something fun very quickly and test out ideas.
And there were a lot of level design tools that use procedural stuff, for placing trees and things like that. Or
Yeah, I mean there was a pretty decent voxel-based terrain editor, and so you could set up all sorts of cool alien-looking worlds, and it came with a bunch of characters that had their own attack animations and stuff like that. You could give them a bunch of different weapons.
Oh, come on.
I remember my favorite game that I played all the time in the 80s was EA's Adventure Construction Set, which let you make these 4-color Ultima style RPGs, and you just sort of build them from scratch. They shipped with a couple of little tiny adventures that they made themselves, but it was mostly just for you to make your own. And so I spent hours and hours and hours. That was my first game development experience using that. So Project Spark was really cool because it kind of gave a new generation of kids, and people who just weren't in the game industry had opportunities to see what stuff would be like, to think like a game developer.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely people who made really cool stuff with it.
Bilbo wants to know, what's the best part of your average day at work? What do you like about your job?
Come on, Brant.
Say getting to work with our sweet designers.
Coming up with awesome solutions to the problem we have. Was that too?
But no, I mean that's what I like. I like games. I like the design of games. I like figuring out how to come up with stuff. I mean the inventory changes we made aren't the peak of interesting. Like what's the hard problem? Let's solve it. But there's a lot of other things that we've done have been very cool.
It's like, my favorite part, like, in math class when I was a kid was, like, word problems, like, a weird word problem. Sometimes it's like, here's a whole worksheet that's full of just normal math, and
what?
the weird word problem where you have to, like, take all of the logic and
out
stuff
of the-
you've learned and put it to work. And a lot of the stuff that you do at a job like this is that kind of, like, collaboratively trying to figure out a complicated word problem together. And, that's actually one of my favorite parts of it, too.
Yeah, I mean, like when you and I were trying to figure out how do we define characters.
Think
so
I
that they
crashed
could have
it.
all sorts of different names.
We had that stupid thing. Sorry, I promise it is not the game that is doing this. It's just we got this twitchy machine. So yeah, well, let's figure out what we're gonna do with that. So Matthew, some folks wanted to know what were your favorite games growing up.
Well, on the topic of creating games, I played a bunch of StarCraft and Warcraft 3. Made a number of custom Warcraft 3
Good idea.
maps, which was actually a really great environment for that because you could make some changes, like play with it for an hour, hop on a BattleNet, find a bunch of random victims, tell them this is in beta, it's not done yet, and there was tons of people who were very excited to play it with them, get good feedback, go immediately make those changes, and then test again and get new feedback.
Like you were saying before about iteration being sort of like that's how you make a game development process work. Is you give the more opportunities people have to iterate and just sort of try. Oh my gosh, my face. The more often you can try the same thing again and again, the better you can make it.
Yeah, the tighter you make that iteration loop and the faster you can integrate the feedback that you get, the better the results you're going to be. Because no one has the best idea, and all they need to do is just go build that idea. If the best designers have terrible ideas, they implement them and go, oh, that didn't work once I actually tried it. But it's the working on it, iterating it, and making progress that way.
It's kind of like how like the best battle plan, never survives contact with the enemy.
Yeah.
That basically, I mean, the player isn't your enemy, but in this case, it's like you never know how something's going to work just based on what it is in your head. Like until somebody else plays it, it could be anything. You don't know if it's good until you see it played.
Yeah. So I played a bunch of those.
That's normal, Brent.
Okay.
I played a bunch of Civilization 2 growing up. The game is fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites too.
So good. I remember sitting on the floor in my room with that fold-out tech tree map and just like studying the tech tree.
First I'll do this, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
The real P1 wants to know what your favorite game is now.
The game I'm playing right now is Total War Warhammer 2.
So, okay, yes, the second of the Total War Warhammer games. They used to put the Total War at the end of the title, and then they stopped.
Yeah,
and I get
is
all
Is that the
confused.
same,
No.
like Rome and Samurai?
Yeah,
and all
no,
that?
Yeah.
I played Shogun Total War back in like junior high or whatever that was.
I started with medieval, but
Yeah, and that naming, it had its own flow. Shogun Total War.
Yeah, at some point, somebody decided that being weird was wrong.
And they're like, yeah, we want our IP name to be first, Total War, and then whatever the specific game was.
Steve-O, I want to be playing the game. I don't want to be sitting here not playing the game. That's why
Yeah,
I'm.
Brand has almost got the game back up and running again.
Yeah, but I don't like that naming scheme as much. But really, the issue is that it's Total War Warhammer. So that's
Why don't they call
just
it
a
Total
mouthful.
Warhammer?
That's
Yeah.
what I call it. It's
Total Warhammer 2.
It rolls off the tongue way easier. Everyone knows what you're talking about. The thing I really like about that game is there's Total Warhammer 1, and it comes with a number of races, and then there's Total Warhammer 2, which is a standalone game that has a different set of races. But if you own both of them, all the races from the first one act as DLC for the second one.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
so,
cool.
like, the orcs and the humans and the dwarves and the vampires are all from the first game. But if you own the first game and you play the second one, you can play as all of those races.
That's
I'll get
cool.
this
Yeah,
one for
I
you.
think
Put it to good use.
Rock Band did the same thing. Like, if you had Rock Band 1, you could bring all of the songs from Rock Band 1 over like it was DLC for
Yeah.
Rock Band 2.
Yeah, so a friend and I are actually playing a campaign cooperatively in Warhammer 2, but playing as some races. It basically just grabs every race that they ever have, throws them in one big map, and whether or not you unlock the DLC for specific races, they're there. You can only play as the ones you own, though. So I like that model. It's very, very interesting.
You play a lot of co-op games. Like, is that
I
most
love
of your
that.
gaming?
I don't know that it's most of it, but I do really like cooperative teamwork style games. Yes.
So, what other games in that style have caught your eye? Like you
mean-
played Vermintide, right?
Yeah, Vermintide is very good. I mean, it's basically Left 4 Dead, but with giant rats. But it's very well done.
Everything is better with giant rats.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of MOBAs. I played Dota back when it was on Warcraft 3, and played Demigod when that came out. Which,
Wow, you're an old school MOBA player.
yeah. No, that underappreciated Demigod.
I'm going to utilize the new update to the
Oh, here we go. What?
Boink.
Okay, I got the
Look at
supplies.
that.
I don't care about that. But look, I don't have to put all this stuff back in the locker.
Nice.
I think we need to refresh again. This
Oh,
thing
yeah.
does
Lost
not
track of the
survive
chat.
very long. But,
Yeah.
there's very few games I play that I enjoy that I don't go, I wish I could play this with someone else.
Yeah, and for me, I'm in the opposite situation where it's like I've got so many like family obligations and things like that. Like I always feel like if I tried to join a group of people who play games co-op together, I would disappoint them constantly. And my social anxiety about signing on to play a game co-op with someone and then never being able to follow through just haunts me, and I never start. Like I've got a friend. I actually bought a copy of Fallout 76 for a friend for his birthday, I think it was for Christmas. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And the whole point was, let's play this game together. And he started playing it regularly, and I was still playing it, and we never played it together. Just never. Yeah, we both have kids. Just
Yep.
never got to the point where we actually could.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It was so much easier right after college. We all worked, didn't have anything going on.
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Barry Esteen wants to know: are there any plans to put the time and day in the HUD? That is on our list. You know, we've got this big giant list, a big Trello board of suggestions and ideas and things that we want to implement in the game, and that is pretty high on that list. That doesn't mean it's going to happen anytime soon, though. But we have definitely heard you on that. Like, we understand why. I mean, people talk so much about how many days they've survived and how important that is. And also, you want to know how much nighttime is
this
left
place checks
before
out.
the sun's going to come up. And that's all really important, and we haven't provided you with a simple, straightforward way to find that out. And so, that is something that's pretty high on our list.
Yeah,
I guess that's worth something.
cool to get.
Love when I find something good.
What? Eric Troy says State of Decay should never have had co-op. It was always meant to be co-op. So
Yeah. I mean, we designed it so that if you weren't into co-op, the single-player game would just be a single-player game,
Yeah.
and it would feel normal. But we actually missed some opportunities to make the co-op stronger because we wanted to make sure that single-player players were accounted for. And it's tough when it's much easier to make a game when you commit to have the game do one specific thing and only that thing. And because we were kind of splitting our attention and having State of Decay 2 support single player and also support co-op, it meant that it was more. Some things got more difficult, but it was a challenge we wanted to take on because we knew a certain segment of our audience always wanted to play co-op, and another segment never wanted to play co-op. We wanted to make sure that both of those segments of the audience had a game that they could play.
I was gonna ask, what are you looting from all of these
We're getting a lot of
beehives?
infestations around
Honey,
here.
right?
What could you
That's not
possibly
good.
be looting? Oh, honeycomb. There you
Yep,
go.
chunk of honeycomb. Me want honey.
I don't know why I'm surprised. I helped Brian build that system at
Yeah.
the beginning, so we would have relevant loot.
But yeah, it does seem a little bit like we put some extra effort because there were apiaries in the original State of Decay. So it's a
Oh.
classic
Oh,
State of Decay thing to
okay.
be hunting through beehives. So
I feel like you
Well-
should take minor amounts of damage while you're looting it, though.
that does make sense. It's one of those special casings. It's like, oh yeah, that special casing was great.
Because that's what we're missing in State of Decay.
Just random
is
damage.
opportunities to damage
Your
the
health
player.
is too full more often than it should be. No, what you should do is you should have a allergic to bees trait.
That's
If
true.
That person loses.
And if you go to the
Only
take
that one
Yes.
person, because that experience is what people. That's going to be worth our time. Instead of all these features that the chat is asking for, we should just make
Allergies.
one character in every 10,000 will get. will
Yeah, I
take
mean, we can
damage
ask them
from
who wants that as a feature.
Magic Man suggests Poison Ivy is another mechanic that we should add. See, you ask people for ideas, they're just throwing out random ideas now.
No, that's
They're
not the
like,
question. The question is, do we want characters to be allergic to bees?
Full Fury says wound, injury, stung, with allergy chance, making it an instant kill unless you have epinephrine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should basically have a version of that plague meter.
Yep, and
it's
it just
got
goes
a bee on it, and it just and it fills up if you're allergic, and you have to use epinephrine to calm it down again.
And since we don't have any, they're dead.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Blaze Experience wanted to remind us about the trivia question that I forgot to ask, and we're almost out of time.
You're so bad.
I know, we are the worst at our jobs.
Oh,
Okay.
don't lump me in with we.
No,
That says
no,
you
this
will
is the royal
pay
we. I'm saying
$3.
I'm terrible at the game.
we, the royal we, are bad at our jobs. Okay, so let's do that real fast. Hey, everybody, let's do a quiz. It's for a pin. What's going to happen is you are all going to... Wait, actually, I never actually cleared it with Wonder if she was cool to do this, because Megan usually does it, and Megan's out today. Well, let's try it. And if it doesn't work, whatever. Good luck, Wonder. Okay, so here's our question. What will Quick Repair Toolkits be renamed to in the next update? So I made sure we said the name of it several times, and in fact, when Brant didn't say the proper name of it,
I was quickly corrected.
just to make sure that everyone knew that there is an answer to this question. So we're gonna get back there, but
Oh, hey.
the way it works is, hopefully, Wonder is going to be able to grab the first several of you who get the right answer on each of the platforms we're streaming on, and let's see here. Yeah, and basically he's going to do a random determination because we don't want your internet speed to determine who wins.
What? This just turned into a...
You say it's like coming in
Barbecue
chunks
party.
depending on the platform. That's interesting.
So she will, So she will make a random choice of the first several people who got the answer right, and then we'll announce the winners, and they'll get these pins. So congratulations in advance to whoever gets that.
I have one of these pins.
Oh hey, Megan's back. She's helping. Thanks, Megan. So anyway, yeah. So just to review with everybody, for folks who joined late, there's a bunch of stuff that we brought up on this stream. You can demote your leaders now, without having to walk them out and get them killed by a feral.
That's right.
There's a bunch of new nicknames that are getting unlocked. Basically, the nicknames based on your character's last name. They used to not work. Now they work, and like we already had like hundreds and hundreds of these things, and so you'll be able to get them. Especially like Red Talon characters who go by their last names. Now, if they have a ridiculously long last name that doesn't fit in the UI, they'll get a nickname, and it'll be much easier. You see something? The chat's stuck again.
Yeah.
Oh man, someday things will work the way they should.
Fix
I
that.
don't think there's anything
It's
left to
getting
find.
fixed. You can unload magazines. So you're if you've got a weapon that's got 3 bullets in it and you want to actually put them in a different weapon, you can get those bullets now. You can transfer your inventory not just from the car side of the inventory, but from your backpack side of the inventory when you're at a parking spot.
Yep. Super
Car's
cool.
backpack.
The car's
Lovely.
backpack.
I want
exactly.
that as a fancy skin for the car. It's just a car with like
Don't say that too loud. Dan Mote will
backpack
just start making
on the back
one.
of the car. So it's not like a hatchback. It's a backpack.
It's just wearing a backpack. And
We have one of
its
those.
straps
It's
are
the-
like looped
it's-
around the front fenders.
It's the Brogan,
Yeah.
isn't it the Brogan Trekker that has the
Oh yeah, it's got
carry
the thing
case
about-
on
yeah,
top?
Totally.
Can it be one of those like Hello Kitten
It's a lot of
backpacks?
stuff.
Well, Hola Gato. As long as we don't call it what you just called it.
Yeah, it's the like Hello Puppy backpack. I don't know.
Anyway, so when you switch characters at an outpost, we teleport your old survivor back home so they don't get killed. They also keep their flashlight on when you switch characters, which is great. And I guess I should give you guys the answer to the quiz.
Maybe.
We don't quite have our winner yet. We're getting there. So I'll do the answer to that. But there's one thing I forgot to tell you guys. This is a very important one.
Jugs won't.
Less deadly headshots in Nightmare. This is a big deal. You guys have been talking a lot. Every time we go anywhere, you guys talk about the fact that headshots in Nightmare are really, really frustrating. Now, we tried not to make them much easier because we know that a lot of people really like the degree of challenge in Nightmare. We didn't want to make it too easy, but what we're doing is when you get headshotted by an NPC, you can't get immediately headshotted again 2 seconds later. There's a little grace period where you just deal with that first headshot, and it gives you a chance to escape or do something about it rather than getting headshotted again immediately. And also, the sliver of health you have left when you get headshotted is now bigger. So there's just a little bit more room for you to survive. Not that much. We really didn't want to undermine
Game is
the
basically
challenge.
easy mode now.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Exactly.
I take no credit for that.
Yeah, that one kind of came in at the very last minute, but it's one that people have been asking for a while. So it looks like we are very, very close to having our winners.
This is also where I live now.
Yeah, exactly.
I live here.
We're going to announce them real quick, and then we're going to get out of here.
Just one left of those.
Yep. I'm going to spend the rest of eternity standing on this thing because...
Do I really have to carry all this crap?
Yeah, so Brian points out that basically the plan was we don't want to nerf it. We don't want it to feel like it suddenly got easy or something like that. Basically, we're trying to swap out the that was BS experience that sometimes happens with NPCs and have it always feel like, if you died, it's because you could have done something better. You could have gotten it. We wanted to remove the experiences where it just felt like there was literally nothing you could have done to make the experience better, to make the encounter go a different way. Because games are fun when they're hard, but you feel like you could possibly have won. But if a game feels like it betrayed you, like it killed you in a way that you literally could have done nothing about, that's not challenging, that's just frustrating. So that's what we were trying to remove. We didn't want to make it easy, or even much easier. We just wanted to get rid of those moments where it just felt like the game was cheating. Okay, so we've got our winners. So I'm going to go back to this mode and say, so you all knew the answer was advanced toolkits. So that was the last feature we announced was the quick repair toolkits have become advanced toolkits. And our winners are on Twitch, Omega42. So Omega42 is going to get a pin. Over on YouTube, the Epic Zombie is a winner, is going to get a pin. And over on Mixer, M of 3K. That's how I want to say their name. Man, Lucky is so sad over
Lucky is
there.
really sad. Look at him.
Oh man, he's
I'm
such
gonna
a sad guy.
I'm gonna play as Lucky.
Oh, just make him feel a little bit better. Anyway, congratulations, you guys, on winning. Make sure that Megan and Wonder get a chance to get in contact with you to figure out how they're going to deliver your pins to you. And if you don't hear from them, email social at what are we called? Undeadlabs.com. Social@undeadlabs.com to make sure that it happened.
Best stream ever.
Podcast. On podcast. That's how good we are.
Okay. Oh, actually, it looks like really the place you should send your info, according to Megan, is support@undeadlabs.com. So try that. Anyway, hopefully though they'll just get in contact with you over like Whispers or something like that, and you'll be able to talk to them that way. And we are about out of time. Thank you so much for coming in, Matthew, and chatting with us. And thank you especially for all of the lovely new features.
Fantastic, awesome features.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
And we'll have to have you back sometime in the future. And everybody here, thank you guys for coming out and chatting with us. We love you, and I guess we're done.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
We're on the end screen now. We'll be here for like 15 seconds. They can hear us. It's gonna be great.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And I'll pause it so I don't get another character killed while people can't watch.